Yeah, we managed to be 2 minutes late.
Wasn't bad. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day, but a fantastic one. Hello. I'm honoured to be here. Thank you very much for joining us.
Well, hello everybody. I know usually I'm alone in the shed with the records, and
you're never alone. You're with your friends.
Yeah.
You're with your friends.
But is anyone there, by the way? Like,
absolutely nobody. We're talking to ourselves.
Yeah, probably. Maybe the connection. Who knows what's going on? Oh no, there's some people. Suddenly, you see here. Maybe the connection. Who knows what's going on? Oh no. Oh, I know what's going on. Suddenly, you see here. Wait. Unprofessional to the max. There you go. I know what's going on. But yeah, long day. For those who know or don't know, so okay, Den Bosch, the record fair in the Netherlands, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, Saturday is tomorrow. So how are we day one?
We're
actually day two for us.
Yeah. But I can't quite believe today. I mean, I've sort of been a record collector all my life, and this goes down as maybe the most astonishing day I've ever witnessed and been part of. I came last November, and that was the first time to Den Bosch, and that was amazing. But today, it just seemed like the stars aligned, and so many records were found by this gentleman. And this probably is the best day of my collecting career, other than one other, when I found 1,600 soul singles for £800, and I sold 3 of them on eBay and got my money back. And ended
How many were there?
1,600.
1,600, and only 3 of them paid for the whole thing.
Yes, that was an astonishing day of soul singles. But
were you prosecuted at one point in your life?
No, it was a collection that came into a shop, and 50 pence each. That was amazing. But this was amazing because this is the type of music that I now like to listen to. So things have moved on. So I've been selling some soul music to justify having enough ammunition to go ballistic today. And if you've got the chance to go, and you are a record collector and you like whatever, you've got to go to Den Bosch. It's just incredible.
In other words, Steve's been loading off soul records left and right for 6 months.
Yes, yeah. I even sold a couple to Nadine last year, I think. Yeah, but because even though I like soul music, I don't feel the need to collect it anymore. Yeah. So I'm trying to find happier homes for it, and in the process, getting enough, as I say, justification to get a few heavy duty items, which is what Stunty's found today, and some collecting some particular artists that I like as well. So, and
also cheapos.
Yeah. Not all big, but I am trying to, and I don't know about you, I think you're trying to explode and your collection, but I've moved to a smaller place where I don't have so much, and there's probably a problem for a lot of people. So I'm trying to implode my collection, and make it quality rather than quantity. Yeah. I think that's probably a sensible thing. Otherwise, you can go out of control, as you well know.
Look at the nice guy of the VC here.
How you doing?
French vinyl addict.
We miss you. We miss you
and your prog rock quests.
I got a prog record somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere. Hello, Marius, Claude, Ivan. Remember Claude, the French guy with the hat?
Yes, Claude. Yes. How are you? Are you not here?
No.
So first problem.
Yeah.
The first problem of the day that I discovered when I started to do record fairs was that as your eyesight deteriorates, there is a problem for record collecting, flicking through the boxes. So I've got a pair of bifocals, I didn't go varifocal because the world seemed to be turned upside down when I had varifocals the first time. So I've got bifocals, the bottom part reading, top part to see. But neither of them work for the distance of looking through a record box. So the big problem, walking around the fair, I have these ones. And then when I have to get a box to look through, I have to put just that right amount of distance. So now I can read the comments.
Okay.
But with this, I can't. So what a problem that is. I'm sure other people.
Yeah, look, you don't want to read the comments of Claude like that. Like, yes, I remember Mr. English. Like, come on, Claude.
Mr. English. Mr. English. What, one of many people from England who can't speak French? Yes.
And then he says something very nice.
Oh.
I'm with you in thoughts.
Oh.
In French, thoughts. But yeah, so we came yesterday.
Yeah.
As we did last time.
Yeah.
We did slightly better. We arrived, and also freaking great weather in the Netherlands for once.
Yeah, fantastic. Unless you have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and it's still very cold.
No, but so we arrived yesterday afternoon around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. And I'd had no sleep. I was working the night before in Sheffield, and so a 10 to 5 train from Sheffield in the morning. Had about half an hour sleep on the train, got down to the Eurostar, jumped on that, had another half an hour, and then the connection through Brussels, Breda, and just what you do. I could have flown, but I prefer the train, and also I knew full well I'd probably get enough records that I couldn't bring them back on the train, so I've done both journeys.
I had a funny story though, because I booked the cheapest flight possible today, which was the earliest one also, which was a bit problematic for me. But it also meant that I would arrive like 3.5 hours ahead of you. That I would have to wait in the hotel, whatever. But when I arrived at the airport yesterday morning, it turns out that way too many people believe in the Easter Bunny, because like everyone is obsessed with Easter apparently, so the flight was overbooked. So the steward was like, is there anyone who would consider taking a later flight for some monetary compensation, some Den Bosch ammunition basically? And I said yeah, and basically I killed off 3 hours for nice little.
Who did you fly with?
I flew with Lufthansa instead of I flew with KLM instead of SAS, which is a tiny bit of a downgrade. But
so KLM bought you one record. That's nice of them.
Yeah, maybe more than one, but you could see it that way as well. So we arrive So I arrived in Amsterdam. You arrived in Brussels. Then we arrived in Den Bosch at the train station. From the train station on the Thursday afternoon, what do you do?
We decided to go to because Friday at Den Bosch is Dealer's Day.
We'll explain that.
Whatever that means. But you have to pay extra to go there. But then there's also, there's always the inner circle, isn't there? If you go to a festival, you think you're in the VIP area, you're not. There's always another area that you can't get into, and then after that, there's another one. Well, at Den Bosch, there's a dealer's show-off afternoon for big, heavy hitters and big items. That's in a hotel not far from the station, and you can go there and drool over whatever you like to drool over, and there's a lot of deals done. A lot of records are bought.
Sometimes we don't see. Sometimes they go in rooms, but there's a fair amount of. Basically, it's just the dealers who are going to be there tomorrow and who were there today. They come with 2-3 boxes of like venomous grails.
Yeah,
like. There was quite a few records that were priced like 8,000 euros, 17. I saw one that was 17,000. And when you talk with the guy, there's actually a reason for that. I mean, it's whatever we think about. Like there were people who were there to buy these records.
Yeah,
obsessively. Japanese people. And you could see some cliques. And we know some of these people now. Me a little more. we identify them. So it's a whole ecosystem, and it's almost like a lovers parade in a way.
Yeah, and you know there didn't seem like there was a lot for you, and subsequently not for me either. But
we knew it.
We knew that, yeah. But it's
we
still good
got
to hang
some.
out. Yeah, but
what did you get there? You have.
Do you know what the problem is? It's been a bombardment, and
I know. Oh, you don't remember the one? I know.
Oh yeah, I do. But I'm now going to find it. I don't think it's in order, is it?
It's the new creative methods.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll find it.
There it is.
Okay. Yes. So this was on my wants list, and my wants list. I'm sure, like a lot of you, maybe now that are addicted to watching Stunty,
or not.
Your wants list is being guided by this gentleman, and so I now look at my wants list, and it's basically
not Claude. Claude is not guided by me.
No, not Claude. No. But it's to some degree being manipulated. That's a nice word. Guided by Stunty, and so I heard this on one of the channels, one of the streams. Yep, I suppose. So I've got to do it properly. I've got to take it out the sleeve and everything. So yes, new creative methods. I have no idea about anything other than the track I've heard that made me actually decide to put it on my wants list, but it just looks the part, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How wonderful.
It's a small, this label had only 4 releases, so it's almost like a private press label. Yeah. It's a French label that is kind of between jazz, spiritual jazz, and post-punk, way before punk existed. So it's kind of Jacques Bérocal related. It's a great record. It's becoming increasingly scarce. I think Le Souffle Continu reissued that, but like we like originals for various reasons. And this one was, the price was good, was normal. We got a small little discount. The guy knows us, and we're pleasant enough so that we can trick our way into their favors a little bit. And I got one record as well.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing going. And I think we were discussing this. Obviously, like Stunty knows his shit. Okay, so he knows the price of what it should go for, regardless of Discogs. What is the sort of the value in that? Has done his research, and it's good to go with somebody who can actually tell a story that actually explains to some of the dealers, why you can't pay that for it.
Yeah,
because obviously everybody gets, as you know, gets swayed by Discogs. So it's really good to go with somebody who's got some knowledge, and the knowledge is the power. But also, when we be going around the record fair, buying records together, and then pooling them, and then all of a sudden having more bargaining power because you had more records. So if you are going to go, team up. So when you buy from a dealer, you haven't just got the one record where you've got no bargaining power. That seems to be a sensible thing to do.
Yeah, and I guess
John Parrott doesn't like anything other than the Beatles, probably. I don't know. He's from Liverpool. Anyway, that's a question earlier.
Yeah, there was also a question, a weird question by Davey Strange name. What's the maximum budget for buying at the fair? It's like, I think it's
what's the
NASA is on the case, right?
Oh, gee.
It's still uncharted territory as far as it's going for us.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Like
there's a few reasons for that.
It's dangerous because there is so much there.
Show the first record here. Like,
okay,
this is a record I played on the stream.
I haven't got a clue. Yeah, it is, as I say.
Before you show it,
okay.
Prepare it. I played that, I think, like maybe 5-6 months ago. I don't know, last year.
Yeah.
And it's a record I've been after heavily. It's like, it was one of my top 5 grails for 15 years.
Yeah.
We saw 3 copies of it today.
Yeah. And at this time of the day, I'd already blown a load of euros. And I was thinking, well, there's 2 more days to go. That's enough for the day. And then we rolled up a particular dealer.
Wait, we're still not finished with the story of the first day.
You've moved on.
It was just like a side, a flash forward before we
fast forward. I was thinking, look, I've got enough records here today. That would do me for the day. Then we rolled up at another dealer, right? And they had a ton load of records that Stunty decided I would obviously like, and a few I knew myself. And next minute, it was like, I haven't got enough euros. Fortunately, I had some sterling, and another tip for any UK buyers: don't change your money up. Do not change your money up in the UK for euros. Take your sterling out there, because there are enough dealers from the UK that want to exchange at the midpoint exchange rate. So you get, instead of 110 that you get in a bank, you get the midpoint, which is 116. It all adds up.
The UK dealers get paid in euros, and they're going back to the UK, so they don't want to bring back euros. So it's you just have to find them at the right moment.
Yeah, and also really really useful boxes. As you probably are aware, really useful boxes have a big stand out there. So because people buy far too many records and need a box, and some of the dealers want to buy, so the boxes are there stacked up with all the lads from England. They are very happy to swap euros for sterling, sterling for euros. So there I am. I have to run to the really useful box. Thank you so much for doing this. And now I'm off and running again, and I'm going, when's this ever going to end? And this is. I haven't got a clue on earth what.
Show the back.
The also. Back as well.
So this is one of the 2 releases on this very cool German label. It's actually not a label.
I'm not good at this. How you do this is amazing. Yeah,
it's an art gallery, and they had an installation by this musician.
Yeah, he plays a square board. That's all he does. He puts his hand very close to it.
And they only did 200 copies of it. It's a record that usually goes for like 5. Like when you heard it and you're into that kind of music, you want it. You really want it.
I can't wait. Wait. We haven't got a record player really worth its salt to. We've got a little test.
Yeah, we have one to test if we see an issue, if it's an issue that we can live with, or if it's just cosmetic.
Yeah. So next minute, there I am. Stunty's pulling records out left, right. Have you got this? No. You need this. You need this. You need this. Do I? Yeah, I do, because I've now hook, line, and sinker down the road of experimental and abstract and music concrete and all that.
See?
Yeah.
Thank you, Timo.
Timo, yes, thank you, Timo. Thank you indeed.
Yeah. You got that from a seller called La Scie Dorée.
So many great records. Yeah.
Like, if you guys have seen the video I did, the first video I did in Den Bosch a few years ago with Micro 45. Like, we did a video where we were at his booth, and like I was like mesmerized by, even if I had a lot of these records, it took me 20 years to get them, and suddenly they were all in this same place. But so, hello Jonas, hello Greg,
hello Jonas,
hello Andorra's Revenge, Zeb. Yeah,
Greg, OJC, I saw you were at something in the UK, weren't you? I'm trying to think. OJC's. I saw something recently about.
He's from Canada. He's moving to Europe soon, I think. Good choice.
Yeah. Radio Gnome, yes.
Yeah.
Capstone Theatre, but came down with a flu. Oh yeah, we did a gig up there. Utopia Strong did a gig. It was a sit down one. It was good fun. Good fun.
But so first day we had this little stealth dealers private fair.
As if it wasn't enough that we'd been to the private dealers fair.
You know what's happening? We have to take
this is very important.
Slight pause. We're still going to be here. I'm just going to bid on an eBay auction.
As if you haven't got enough records, you are now bidding on an eBay. So anyway, while you're doing that, we had been in contact with a gentleman who that much you're going to bid that.
Wait.
There's 2 minutes, 15 seconds left, and the current bid is at 32 euros. You're bidding. You've gone in heavy. That's the only way. That's the only way. Why didn't you do that in the first place? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows
for the loss?
Okay. So we had the evening off, and we decided to not necessarily go out on the lash or go to sleep after a long day. We went to a gentleman's house who lived not very far from the venue, and he showed us what can only be described as a museum collection of abstract music, concrete art music, with memorabilia coming out of every pore. Nearly every record was signed by the artist, and we spent the evening with this lovely gentleman and had far too many drinks.
He had a lot of with great strong graphic design. He had like so many copies of the Zipper Rolling Stones cover. Like he's into and
he was also selling some stuff, so it was really good.
Well, was he selling stuff?
Well, we didn't know, but we
said that we were coming to buy stuff, but he was like we could sense that he was not necessarily ready to let go of the stuff, and he had stuff that we really, really, really wanted.
It's 56 seconds left. I mean, don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Fine.
Let's wake up. It's time to bid more than 34 euros on this record. Yeah, so we spent the company drinking strong beer and listening to stories of the world of music concrete, which was
amazing stories.
Was amazing. It was astonishing to think that somebody had been in that business or listening to that type of music for so long. So
he runs a label for 40 years also.
It's 24 seconds.
I know
left.
what I'm doing.
I'm invested now in whether what is the record you're bidding on anyway?
It's Italian electronic stuff.
Electronic library program. It's 14 seconds left. Yeah. The lag. Don't forget the lag. They panicked on 11 seconds. I'd have done it on 5. It's gone up. Oh. Anyway,
I lost.
What?
Yeah, I got outbid.
No.
Yeah. It went. Yeah, I was second, but
great. Nobody just trust me. I know about this. Nobody remembers who came second. So we spent the evening with this gentleman who was so hospitable in the alcohol department that we never had any food at all. So at midnight, we ended up in a Turkish bar, a restaurant. We ordered one whole chicken and French fries. I felt like I was in the Blues Brothers.
We did manage to get some records from the guy.
Yeah, we bought some records. Yeah. Although he'd sold all of his INA GRM collection.
But
I was disappointed. I wanted some Bernard Parmigiani and
let's put it that way. He had some records that he might be the only chance for us to ever get this record.
Yeah.
And we managed to come so close that
absinthe and
that
concrete.
He thought like, okay, give me 6 months, to like a mother who lets go the children.
Yeah, some he didn't want to get rid of because it was his own collection.
Yeah,
and he was letting go of them. But at some stage in your life, you have to part with these records. That's why I'm parting with a lot of my soul music, because you need to find another home for it. You don't own it. You don't own these records. They're there to be moved on, and then you get another lot that you're sort of looking.
So basically, after. A bunch of records. We were like, we really want these. Please.
Some he let go. Others he was really sort of.
He said, next November. Yeah. Next November. And it became a joke almost.
Yeah.
It was funny. But
four fried chickens and some dry toast. Yes.
Yeah. So we managed to
we had a little hit before we even started. Yeah, of records.
Yeah.
Before the fair started.
I got some great records. I got more than you that time.
Yeah.
Today was quite the opposite.
Yeah.
But so the fair opens officially for the dealers at 7:00 this past morning. So we decided, let's go there. Let's be there at 6:00, because sometimes, like, as soon as people arrive, they let them go in, and
it was very cold.
If you saw the little Instagram video I put, they didn't let us in, but we still got in at about 6:25.
Yeah.
So it was. Yeah.
We're wandering around a record fair where the tables are out, but nobody has actually, as of that time, taken any lids off the boxes. I'm wondering what on earth am I doing with my life? We're the first people there, more or less. But we also met an interesting gentleman outside, which was a strange. I don't know if we should be always.
It was very nice.
It was lovely. But here's the thing that so we met a gentleman outside, right? The first person we met, another collector. He was a dealer as well, but he was collecting for himself as well. And Stunty said, "What you after? What do you think?" He said.
It was after
Elvis? No.
Beatles for sale?
Probably no. More or less the same as us.
Yeah,
How amazing is that at that time of the morning?
Yeah, he was literally mostly after like post-industrial, post-punk, electronic music. And where did he come from?
Yeah. He was Russian.
He came from Moscow. He didn't come from St. Petersburg.
So he was buying. He was buying to take back to sell in a record shop in Moscow.
Yeah, I don't know how that goes.
Can't make it up, can you?
Yeah.
Anyway,
but he spoke good English and
lovely
he was
guy.
very engaging. And then we haven't seen him since then. But so basically from 6:25 till 17 something.
Oh.
So with one tiny break for a sandwich, like 11 hours of digging.
Yeah.
And how does your body feel right now, Steve?
My feet are slightly aching. I mean, I think if tips for surviving Den Bosch, that you're on your feet. So
buy these weird shoes that
look the stupid shoes. Buy the stupid shoes. Yeah. And also, even though it's in the summer, it's starting to get a bit warmer. Even this particular one in April, yeah, you can wear a coat all day. It's a big aircraft hangar, more or less, two of them, and so you never really get that hot. So you might as well just wear a puffer jacket and walk around light.
One thing that was for me different than any other time I was in Den Bosch, there wasn't a single time when we weren't finding stuff. There was no like drought during 11 hours of constant stimulation. Of course, you go through this booth, you don't find anything, but you go to the next. Yeah. Like
it's not long before you find something.
Yeah, it was.
And that I don't know historically what it's like, has been like for the type of music that you may be tuning into StuntrockConfusion for, but it feels like there's more demand. That's probably why prices are going up. But because of that, the dealers are actually addressing that. So they're doing what probably was a frustration for people in the past. So nearly all of them have got a box of something that says experimental, industrial, or whatever.
Electronic. It's more than than you'd expect sometimes.
But sometimes it's just full of Tangerine Dream, and other times it's got something a little bit more special.
Oh, yeah. People are getting
shoes?
No, but they're getting impatiency.
It was more records. All right. Well,
so wait. Okay. So we showed from yesterday. Yeah. So before we show some records,
we're talking too much. Listen, if we're boring the shit out of you, remember that one person of these two has a nickname being interesting. So what do you expect?
Well, but if you have an ability to travel through time, you also have another nickname. Sorry.
I don't think what that is. Peter Pan. I'll show you one I've got.
Just a tiny second. So
I'm trying, right?
Yeah. But so 11 hours, meaning tons of people that we know, that know us sometimes. And as we were giving some tips about what to do, be nice, be funny, be oversharing. Being oversharing actually works in this kind of context.
Yeah, I think probably as a dealer, I've done a bit of this now. It's quite interesting. You just want to have a bit of fun while you're doing what you're doing, because it's a long day. If everybody's got stonewall face and trying to be aggressive or something, you might as well have fun and giving information away. They know what they're talking about. You're not going to be pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. You might as well just get involved and show some enthusiasm. So when we were doing it, it wasn't a case of trying to go, here's a secret record, don't say anything. Stunty would be going, Steve, over here, quick, this is a great record. The guy knows what he's got, so don't worry about it. So I got this. This was I've only had it on CD. It was on Cuniform.
Great.
Yeah.
Rock in Opposition label from the US.
Yeah, and
still active.
David Baldwin is a great exponent of the Moog synthesizer. I've got to get it right. So Mother Mallard's Baltimore Masterpiece Like a Duck to Water. And there's one track in particular that I absolutely love. It's pretty trippy. Oh God, this is out of my league. This it's at the bottom there. Cage Part 2, and it's a long. It's 20 odd minutes long.
Alex,
what a beautiful track. And
what's interesting,
I'm happy to have it on vinyl as opposed to the CD is great as well. And a lot of David Baldwin stuff was issued on on cuneiform, and some great stuff that we'll probably never see vinyl. But it's good. It's on vinyl.
If I remember correctly, Mother Mallard's portable masterpiece company. This is their second album, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not gonna argue.
Okay.
With any of this.
Well, their first album is historically, or was for a long time, considered as the first album of a band of pure electronic music, which they didn't have internet back then. Let's put it that way. But so they got famous, especially in the US, for that. And this second album is much less regarded, but according to you, it's better.
It's good. Well, I'm not saying the whole album is just that particular
one
track.
Good track is
one track. It's 20 minutes long. It's just great. And I think David Borden was sort of hailed as the unhailed master of the unknown, one of the originators.
Yeah.
And obviously from America, not from Europe. Maybe that was why. But he knew what he was doing on the Moog or the Moog or anything.
That was a record that had nothing to do with me, even if I like it as well, but that you found. Also, we had a plan that we would stick together for most of the day.
Yeah.
Of course, there are times when you had to, especially as the day go, and you lose a little bit focus, and you become a little bit more loose.
It's not just that; it's records everywhere, and you just wander off.
Yeah,
because you see something before you've sort of then lost track with where you are, and it is important. I think it's important that you stick together if you are as a team, especially if you're after the same records as well.
So as the day starts and it opens, you're like bees. Like booths open as they open, because you are allowed inside as the sellers are starting to set up.
Yeah.
And the very first one we went to, we were second there, and we got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
So and he was also the first guy we visited last year, but we got much more stuff from this guy.
Honestly, so you're there, right? There's guys, girls and guys who are trying to set their booths up whilst the bees are flying around a honeypot, getting in their way, and they have great patience to tell people, just calm down, don't get too excited, it'll be ready, give us 10 minutes, we'll just open a couple of boxes. But you're desperate, and you're getting there's people bumping into other people, not exactly fighting over boxes, but there's a pecking order as well. And we saw somebody, the first person who was allowed into these boxes, or the first person that opened boxes on the morning.
It was like a row of 6 or 7 boxes on the floor. They were checking the first box, and you thought, I can check from the other end. No. He has the right to go through every box, and we have to follow him. And we were luckily second there.
And he was pulling out some really good records, and he ended up, he must have pulled out 100.
They were buying to sell.
Yeah, buying to sell.
Yeah.
But then, so I sort of thought, well, he's like a bit of a Hoover. A bit of like sort of half nicknamed in the Dyson, but then the real Dyson moved in and started to hoover up what was left. Not this in particular, but you pointed this out to me. I haven't got a clue. I don't know what I bought. Effectively, what is it?
You got one of the most beautiful record cover I know of, in my opinion.
I tipped it the wrong way around. Look.
Yeah, you can there's no.
Yeah, but that's how it sits. But,
Jacques Berrocal, French. Outsider music, jazzman, trumpet player, collage, and it's on the same label as this French record you bought at the mini convention, Davantage, the new creative methods. That's one of the 4 records.
So I don't. What do I do here?
And it's a how would I? It's a cult record.
We're going the wrong way. It's like combing your hair on if you've got a camera.
Hello, that man.
Yeah.
And beautiful condition. Again, one of these records it took me ages to find.
I'm in the wrong direction all the time. There you go. It's somewhere. It looks cool.
Yeah. But so one of the big thing was having prime access to part of the stock inventory of some dealers, taking as many records as possible that were interesting to us, then taking a step back, which ones do we actually want, and then presenting them with a pile that give us some that give them some pause, so that give us a good price, dude. This is a lot of money for you potentially.
Yeah, we're serious. We're not going to just get 1 or 2 records. And the other thing was, I was going, wow, the ammunition I had, it was going fast. I was thinking, oh no, I've got to save some. But then you go, well, the reason why I bought the 3-day ticket was to get in early before a lot of these records go. So if you're going to blow everything, don't blow it on the Sunday with all the small bargains. If you're serious, you should really be blowing it on day one. So
don't listen to Steve.
No, you should, because
he's right, but don't listen to him.
It doesn't matter what your budget is. Yeah. You blow it on the first day, because that's when the best records are there, the one-offs.
It's interesting you say so, because there was one point where we were like looking at each other and like, what are we gonna do the next 2 days?
Yeah, well,
we were like kind of anxious about it, and then a sort of calmness came. Like,
we just
doesn't matter.
We can sell them. We'll sell them. We'll open another. So also, look, I'm not. We've all got taste. We'd like to think we've all got taste, and we all like to think that we can discover records. But one of the reasons why I think we all watch Stunty's channel is because he's got incredible taste. I'm not going to blow smoke up his ass. He knows he's got incredible taste. But so how many people?
horrible.
No, but how many people would have never believed in their life they were going to buy records from this particular label? Yeah. I didn't for any time think
even 6 months ago you didn't.
Even 6 months, and all of a sudden, and I don't know about you also, I usually watch the stream and I'll rewatch it, because it's always good to hear some music the second time round when it sort of starts to stick in. But these things, somewhere down the line, they are going to go up in value. Like it or not, there's some brilliant music on these. So taking a punt on things like this, and also with a bit of help from my friend.
And these are 90% of these are super affordable.
Yeah, they're cheap. Yeah, they're cheap in the whole scheme of things. But the other thing I was impressed about, and obviously we weren't going through the $5 bins.
See, Francis totally disagrees with you about it.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, you're right, Francis. He's absolute crap. But he hasn't got a clue. But
this is not an advertising spot for my stream, by the way.
No, apparently not. Yeah. Well, I think, Francis, you're fighting an uphill battle, mate. Here anyway. There are other channels are available to agree with this. Yeah, but
Francis, give me some credit. I did a thumbnail for this stream solely for you, almost. Like, Francis is the big heavy metal hard rock collector.
Okay.
Like, I used a fucking cover of Manowar for the.
Yeah, but I don't know the backstory here, Francis. But are you a masochist? Is this why you're watching the channel? What is it about the channel? I mean, I don't know. Do you fancy
the community? He's fun.
You fancy Stunty? Maybe, I don't know. Ex-model. The other thing. So the records we were buying, the quality of, not the quality of the condition.
Yeah.
The top notch. The dealers, they know full well they've got to bring it in good condition. So
I mean, sometimes,
but most of the stuff was like, you didn't. In the end, you started to go.
But that's the trick.
I don't need to even.
Steve, that's the trick, though, because it's often so much so that you feel too comfortable and stop checking condition while you're buying. You trust too much, and most of the time it will be fine. But the one time, although I'll say today or tomorrow, I'm bringing back a record I bought 6 months ago, and the dealer is just fine with it.
Yeah.
But Matthew says also it's difficult to find records from Africa in decent conditions. Correct. Like all the streams we do with Michael and Thomas. Yeah, it's true. But we're buying African music, not on African labels, and it's ethnomusicology. So it's traditional music from the time, so it's a little bit different. Like, we could do a whole stream about that, and maybe sometime. But yeah, short answer and not completely satisfying answer. Sorry, Matthew, but
cheers, Christopher. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Thank you very much. So the records that are going to be shown today are many of them records I didn't know, but I trust.
Oh, you knew.
Many of them I didn't know, but I know some of them. I know some of the names. But the records we're going to show mainly are the ones I've got nearly exclusively, because obviously there will be at some stage when Stunty decides to go back to Sweden, when he decides, as he wants, to do a stream where he plays a lot of the records that he's found as well. So these are the ones that he found for me. And that occasionally stumbled upon
or that we
myself.
found together, But quickly, like Byron Rothie is asking us if we buy records over 3 days, or if you go, because you kind of said so. It's not something that we had decided before.
There was no plan.
There was no plan.
No plan. But as they present themselves, what do you do? Do you like go? Oh, I'll leave that for tomorrow, so I can. But they might not be there.
Yeah.
So what do you do? You might as well if you find enough records for your budget. You might as well buy all of them and then perhaps save a little bit just in case you get lucky on the next day. But they could be going. On Saturday, it's far busier. Friday's a cool day. It's pretty relaxed. And it's, 75 euros? 75 euros for 3 days. But obviously that blows.
Otherwise, it's like, I think, around 20 per day. So, but anyway, like it's pretty chill. And if we don't find anything more, we'll be fine with it. But like, of course, we're gonna still look, but with much less pressure, and it will be more. It was super fun. But it will be a different kind of fun. But so now we can show some records.
There you go.
Tom.
Whoops. Oh yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Yes. Andrew Weatherall.
So this is not a super expensive record at all, but not a super common one.
Oh, wrong way. Whoops! Oh, look, this is terrible. I should look at the record, not the screen. It's upside down. That's brilliant. Love it. Okay, so yeah. Andy Weatherall. I got to say, I'm absolutely proud to have been invited to his record, to his festival, and sadly that he passed away. But his wife actually committed to having the same people come after lockdown had finished, and we played in Carcassonne. The Utopia Strong played. It was wonderful to be there, even though Andy wasn't there. And Carvers Tribe and myself were doing an NTS radio show for a while.
You're talking about your bandmate right now.
Yeah, Carvers Tribe. Yes. I'm assuming people know. Well,
people who don't know.
People who don't know, and so if
Steve
you don't know,
is not a snooker player. He's a musician.
Yeah. That was a previous life. But I bumped into Andy Weatherall. He just finished his DJ radio show, and we crossed paths. That was lovely as well. Yeah.
It was just. I think this one was like 10 euros or so. It's and it's like we saw it. Like it's not something I have it, you don't have it. It's not necessarily a priority, but it's a nice record, and for the price, I think you get it, of course.
Yeah, and Francis Kocher makes a point there. I mean, like if you're a collector and it's a record you like, if the price is right, it may never come back at that price.
Look at this incredible question for us. Did you just find any noise music?
Well, somewhere down the line, but
you found a bunch of Nurse's Wound.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sometimes I forget what genres they're in, but
it's not just noise, but
but at short notice, I'm not too sure I can find them.
Well, we found a lot
because I got a lot of records, and I haven't got a clue how I'm going to get them back.
How many records did you get in these past 2 days?
94.
I think you said 97 actually.
Okay, well, I think I
got gifts.
I got given a couple.
Plus some gifts.
Okay, 94.
I got 46 so far.
But tomorrow, I don't intend. Famous last words. Going back on the Eurostar, I don't intend to get anywhere near as many. Maybe from a point of view of carrying them back, but I don't think they're. I think we've hooved them up. Then there won't be any. There won't be any tomorrow. There's no point in going.
Dennis is coming to say hello to us tomorrow.
Oh, Dennis?
Yeah.
I hope you're not going to be trying to collect things like this, because they won't be there.
Yeah, some local stuff,
They've gone. Oh, I'm just useless at this. I've got no idea what I'm doing.
I'll do it for you.
Okay, well, yes, that's a better idea.
Let's see if so. Anthology of Dutch Electronic Music, Volume 2. Did you get also Volume 1?
I think so. If not, you did.
You did. You did.
It's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that, but different.
So it's a double.
It's got
LP.
1 on it.
You didn't get it for cheap, but the condition is amazing, and you got it for a good deal, for a good price.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's here. Yeah.
I mean, matching tie and handkerchief.
And to get Dutch records in the Netherlands,
there's every chance. Yeah. There is every chance. Yeah. If you're going to get a Dutch record,
which means that like the sellers can't do. Oh, I'm never going to find it again. Yeah. It's one. So then you can bargain for these.
Would that be a bit more serious? Trying to ask questions that. So, as for Dutch artists, would they be lighter on the ground than French or less great Dutch artist of this style?
What's the question?
The question is, what did you have for dinner? No, so you sort of certain countries are more synonymous with maybe certain styles of music.
Okay.
So how do the Dutch fare in this?
They're pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Really? Okay.
I mean, for a smaller population, they were. I mean, the Philips label was also an electronic music electronic lab, which had its music department. So of course, everyone knows Philips, I guess.
I didn't see that many. The Philips silver.
No, not
yet. So many of them.
Not yet, at least. Someone was asking us if we got. Rich was asking us if we got any jazz. Yeah, I got a lot of jazz, and even you, who are not like the biggest jazz head. Yeah,
but there's certain types of jazz that I'm starting to really like, and I'm a bit upset. I still haven't found Bar Philips on ECM. There was one big box of ECM. I was thinking, here we go. I'm going to get Bar Philips. Is it Mountainscape? Nah. I'm just going to go off camera to try and find my Nurse with Wound.
Okay.
Gems.
Fair enough. I'll check some question. Ralphie, do you know how many records you own? Roughly. And roughly how many records do you buy per year? Yes, roughly as well.
Yes, but he's not going to tell you, but it's roughly.
That's a different question, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah. So be more specific with your questions. Yeah.
I'm a bit cheeky,
no.
Ralphie.
That's not fair. Answer the question.
Yeah, it's not the most interesting, but I've got over 10,000 records.
You've got a shed load.
And I buy, I don't know, like, with something like today or this week, I buy more, probably about a record a day during maybe a little more if it's
and the rest.
Yeah, but we also buy new stuff for those who don't know.
Okay, I think the other Nurse with Wound records are in another bag, but some of the artwork on these is just astonishing. You want to hold this out? Okay, yeah. I'm going to give it my best shot. Yeah.
Look at this artwork.
Amazing.
A bit disturbing, sure, but like, and some graphic nudity. Like, I know some people think we can't show that on YouTube. We didn't get the memo, so maybe they're right, but
yeah, I don't know the.
Yeah, I saw that Baby Microscope changed his name. Yeah.
Oh yes, it's always nice. United Dairies.
Yeah, what a great name for a label.
You got to love United Dairies, haven't you? I'm a recent convert to Nurse with Wound.
Interesting question. Dutch, some gabber. Actually, one of the theme of the fair this year at the far back where we just passed quickly was gabber records from yeah. Like if you're into gabber, this year is the year. No Polish autumn yet, Marius. Some contacts though.
No, I was upset.
Yeah,
I was upset with that.
Hello, Billy Bob. Hello, Zalvia.
Do you think all the dealers were there?
No.
Maybe a few new ones.
There were a lot of new dealers, and I guess there's probably like 10% dealers who will be tomorrow only. Shaman, Yeah, he'll be Shaman who lives in the Netherlands. He'll be here tomorrow. By the way, Shaman won the contest for the Christmas stream I did for Christmas.
There's a good story to this, but we won't tell it.
So yeah, I know I've been slow, but like there were so many good suggestions. Basically, I do a Christmas stream every Christmas, and I do some random competitions. And one was like, write me a comment suggesting me 3 records that I might not know that I would want. And Shaman had the best rate, and so he's gonna get his prize tomorrow. Okay. This is kind of a very intrusive question, Dennis. Did we spend a lot at La Sidoré, at Timo?
Yeah.
No comment.
No comment. Yeah. Timo's he's partying tonight. He's having a party. Yeah, he's actually stopped now. He's packed up. He's going home. He's done.
We're not.
He's won the lottery.
Golden earring. We're not looking for golden earring. We're leaving all the golden earrings for AGK. AGK, si tu nous regardes.
So this for me was wow in the first place.
Okay, so
this for me was yes, because this guy is obviously the nuts. But have a look at this.
A question for the future, Rich. But so both Steve and I, we don't necessarily signed records. We don't care for that.
No, you don't care about signed records, but maybe some signatures.
Funnily, so why don't we care for signature records? Because fucking sellers think that the record is worth more because of that.
Yeah.
The guy who sold you this, when we told him, he hyped it because of the signature. Yeah. And I must confess, for me, Bernard Parmigiani is one of the very few people like, a signed copy of this. Like Steve.
I mean, I'm trusting that it is. I mean, it could be.
But
that could be the dealer doing that.
No, but I'm a bit jealous. Like, he's one of my favorite musicians, and
it also came with some.
But the funny thing is that when the dealer hyped us, like, the price is a little higher because it's signed, and we said we don't care for signature, and he said, me neither.
Yeah, I don't know if this was also in there as well. I have no idea if that's some memorabilia to go along with it as well, which looks interesting. But
I don't know.
But that's the type of thing you get.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's
stories.
It's brilliant.
I guess a lot of people like it's an ongoing question in one way or another. Like what it depends where you are at your in your collecting and music interest days. Like, and there's no, like, for example, you're not at the beginning of your collecting days, but you're kind of at the beginning of a phase of your collecting days.
Yeah.
So
I think perhaps the way to answer that question would be, what percentage of your yearly budget would you decide to bring to Den Bosch? And well, obviously you can't, on the spur of the moment, you're going to buy records all year round. But I think it would be worthwhile having a pretty hefty chunk of your yearly budget lined up to be able to get some of the choice items that you may be after. And if you don't spend it all, you don't have to, and then you can carry on for the rest of the year. But saving up, the old-fashioned way that used to be, put some money to one side for Christmas. Well, make Den Bosch your Christmas. Put money to one side every week, every month, and then you may have just a little bit more ammunition to enjoy yourself when you come here, so you're not frustrated. And if you haven't got the ammunition, obviously, that's something as well. Then maybe don't come.
Yeah,
that's the other thing, because otherwise you'd be drooling over people who are having a field day.
I'm just checking how I can ban Eddie Perez here, but no, I'm joking.
What's Eddie doing?
He's mentioning, it's a private joke we have.
I see.
It's like the worst band. Imagine 2 Japanese girls or 3.
Oh yeah, I think
cute,
I know.
doing like schoolers and doing heavy metal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like,
Eddie,
Yeah,
we're never going. No,
Eddie,
he's a good dude.
Eddie, you got to move on. No.
Okay, how were the price in this Den Bosch? No, not higher than usual. It's case by case. Dealers, like there was this Swedish dealer who I know from Stockholm, who I don't like him in Stockholm, but here I like him. He had tons of very decently priced records, not like the big rails, but still cool records that you see it for 10, 12 bucks. You know, you're going to negotiate them anyways a little. It's just like,
yeah. And you don't have to go in heavy as well.
Yeah.
And there's enough interesting stuff. You can take a punt on things. You know, you can just sort of decide, well, I'll risk that because here's a wonderful looking record. Oh, I've got to take out the sleeve on that. Absolutely hate these plastic sleeves where they seal up. I'm throwing it away. This I got this 15 euros. I haven't got a clue. What it is.
You took a chance. I wasn't even there.
Interested. Yeah, you weren't even there. I was on my own. I didn't have a handheld.
You did good. Gerhard Rom here.
Yeah.
I would have gotten it as well if I saw it. And I don't know that record either. Yeah. I know the label.
Yeah. So it looks like it's got all the right hallmarks.
For us.
Yeah. It'd probably be a metal album. Yeah. See that. Now that I'm a musician, I should probably know what that score actually means, but no idea what that means at all.
Not necessarily the most exciting question, but a fair question nevertheless, Herkimer. How are hotel prices around the time of the fair?
I think they there's enough people.
It changed things a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes up a little bit. I mean, we're not talking World Cup here or Olympics, but there's a lot of people coming to a pretty small city.
Let's put it that way. If you know you want to go,
book early.
Book your flight, like as everything. Like it makes a difference.
Yeah, I don't think the flights. It's not the flights. It's there's only so many places, and there's only so many Airbnbs, and only so many hotels. So, get in early. But there's twice a year. All the dealers probably book early. So, let alone the punters.
Yeah, already there's probably if you say it's 600 booths, 550 times at least 2.
Yeah.
Imagine there's an influx of professionals that are probably 1,200 people in a semi-big city. It makes
it's got to make some difference. Yeah. I mean,
and there's 60,000 people who come to the fair.
Yeah.
Obviously, lots of locals, but
and so most of the taxi drivers that we've sort of encountered don't really know the record fair's on, but it's got to make a difference. There's so many people there. There's any stalls?
Before we answer that, Dennis, tell us what you're after. It makes
that makes a difference. Yeah. But don't go to the stalls that we've been to because Stunty's just
no. We love stuff, and there's tons of stuff that I already have that it's cool to see, but I won't buy doubles. Francis asked if I brought my record player. It's in my room. Mario says okay. Hello Andrew, nice to see you. Okay, let's show some more. Well, we already pretty set. The stuff that we still need, it's gonna, pleasure and pain, it's like
I've got I tell you what I haven't got, but there are a couple of other Herman. I never knew Herman existed. Now I just love him. He's brilliant. Didn't see much Herman, but another artist that I've discovered, a modern classical composer, avant-garde composer, is this. Can I show that?
Yeah. Yeah. This is good because we can't really show exactly what it is. This weekend is Record Store Day, which we don't necessarily care that much about, you and I.
What store day?
Record Store Day.
Don't know it.
Yeah. So there are
full of reissues of shit. Is that right?
No.
Is that the one? Is that the one that I've been to? Is that the one that I see people queuing up in Sheffield?
Don't listen
record
to
collect?
Don't listen to him.
I don't know. It just seems like it's all garbage, isn't it? I don't understand. Is it?
So basically, there are some dealers who also have their own labels, like this one.
You're gonna love this, by the way. You're gonna love this.
And this fucking guy, every Den Bosch, he has new releases, and the first place you can find them, it's in Den Bosch. And especially this year, for some technical reasons, like these records won't be in the shops until like May.
Honestly, I mean, maybe not as much as Rodelius 90. I don't, it's not. It perhaps it hasn't got that appeal, but you when this, you'll know when if you're into.
Let's be extremely nerdy.
Yeah.
If you're into Romanian, already saying it is almost like a joke, but we are genuinely. If you're into Romanian spectral electronic avant-garde music from the late 70s or early 80s, this box set will like fill a gap, a frustration that when there's artists who have amazing work on vinyl, but so few, and then there's a bunch of CDs after, and like CDs. Well,
I mean, SND Seeker, you may possibly think that, but we couldn't possibly say.
It's beyond our control, and I'll talk more about it soon, hopefully. Okay, strange question. I didn't read it, so let's put ourselves in danger. There are fake replica designer bags and even knockoff silly items like Mont Blanc pens, fake replica, like fake replica vinyl is a bootleg.
Yeah, I mean those things called bootlegs.
Yeah. Well, actually, we had a little bit of a discussion with the seller regarding that, because there are some bootlegs we're interested in, but we're also not going to discuss the quality of the records. And it was funny that dealer wasn't aware that these records had some issues. But
and one of the we're allowed to give it to what artist is probably bootlegged a lot, but there are bootlegs of Coil flying around all the time, we assume.
And some are good, some are not.
So
did we get any Xenakis Chelsea? Not yet. The weekend is young. Okay, so show some more. We're gonna do. I mean, you guys seem to enjoy it. So we thought we'd do like half an hour, but we're already past the first hour.
Are we been talking too much?
Yeah.
Okay,
we're having fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, tell us when it's time to go, because we are absolutely running on empty. So if it's time to go, we'd be fast asleep for some. So have a look at that.
Yeah. Great record. Technical realization by Jean Schwartz. So the best of the experimental avant-garde music involved with the most traditional, timeless music ever.
And amazingly, that's hard to believe, that is a map of how to get from our hotel to Den Bosch.
Yeah. If I don't have the best, most polite posture, is because my back is a little bit broken tonight. I look forward to sleeping so much tonight, but if Steve is showing the records, because we decided to go that, and also I kind of keep the records I found for the streams. I will show one though, because
he's got some amazing records, obviously.
Because maybe someone will know what that is, but first it's a painting here, and I think Alex and Thijs will figure out what this is. But this was huge for me, and should be continued about that. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. This is a record I love, but you got a version that I don't have. You have the limited art edition of it.
I got 169 out of 169 out of 177. Okay, so I'm not stupid. Right, what record pressing plant presses up 177? Right, okay, there was 200 made, right, and the bloke who made them is kept, I don't know,
or did promos or whatever,
yeah, but forward. But even so, tell me about this. What is this, Stunty? What have I got here?
Okay, so this is HNAS, which is an acronym for Hirsch something. It's about like a deer. I forget the name now. I'm a bit tired.
There's a deer on a car.
Yeah, it's a guy from the US connected to Austria. It's on Dumb Records.
Yeah, 169 out of 200.
I have this record, but I have a regular cover of it. It's still limited, but this one is fetching. I mean, you didn't pay like it wasn't cheap, but it was good. So let's see if you have the whole name here.
That's obviously Dom.
Yeah, so it's Christoph Hiemann.
That's not Dom.
Mit Martin, B. Achim, Pelikan, and other. Yeah, this is from '86. And yeah, this, if you like stuff like Nurse with Wound, Organum, it's closer to Organum in a way. Drone music.
I do.
Yeah.
That's probably why you decided it was right for me as well.
And it's also cool records. If you're into that, these are like very desirable records. And also you see like it's steel screen jacket with some, it's like handmade collage.
Oh, this is just a piece of paper stuck on. It's just, you can't beat it, can you? Look, that is actually, I could probably lift it off if I was really going to ruin.
Thank you, Exception. Hirsche nicht aufs Sofa, which is a complete absurdist name for a band. And I love them. I have all the ones I want. But it would be nice to have, like, I mean, it's just stupid, but if you found the most collectible version of this before you got the other, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't have done it without you. And also, so we're now up to...
Don't make us thirsty when we're talking, Ralphie. That's really nice. Not cool.
Well, I mean, after going round to this gentleman's house in very close to Den Bosch and looking at his amazing... yesterday night, and looking at his amazing record collection, having far too many beers... and then waking up so early with like about 3.5 hours sleep. I was hanging, but excited. So I got out of bed. I don't know, I did that, and then we've gone full pelt, and it's now sort of 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and we're starting to flag a bit. So we went to the cafe area, which is really nicely set up with lovely coffees and everything. And of course, Hair of the Dog was a very important part of this. And just to let you know, if you're a beer fan, that the venue has upped its game, and it's got quite a nice selection. It's got a couple of draft. I'm a beer snob, and it's got a nice selection of.
You're a beer creature.
Yeah, it's got a nice selection of bottled beers, including doubles and triples. And so,
why not?
About 1 p.m. in the afternoon, we had an 8% beer each, just to sort of keep things ticking along. I don't know if you agree with it's the right thing to do or not, but it seemed like the right thing to do.
So just randomly pick up one record random. Oh, that's interesting.
Tenner. No, record not even a tenner, is it? Like
five.
No. 10 euros. 10
euros,
it's not even a tenner. Okay, and it's also got a piece of paper on it stuck to it. Great.
It's the right price, but you know. How often do you pay the right price for a record you can't find locally? You know?
Yeah, and listening to Meredith Monk, I like. So you got the idea I didn't like jazz. I don't think I don't like straight jazz. I don't think I like straight jazz. I've heard enough of it in my life. I used to go to Ronnie Scott's a lot. I heard plenty of it there, especially at weekends because they've got to get the punters in. Midweek, maybe a few more experimental things. I struggle a bit with free jazz sometimes because I just don't. It just feels a little bit too sort of up its own arse. I don't know. You don't. I know, but
come on.
Isn't somebody, it cool that somebody might be able to agree with me.
We're just talking about this weird music as if it's the most normal thing, and it is for us.
Yeah, but
like we're not acting.
But after listening to this on the channel, I thought, I don't know how this is judged, but I like this guy, this woman. Yeah,
very soothing music.
Yeah.
Francis is saying you're even more chatty than I am.
Sorry.
Well, we're not going to play music tonight, so we might as well be chatty. And
I like this guy. This guy, woman.
So, you know what? I love Meredith Monk. I don't have that record. It's been on my want list forever.
You can have it for 20.
Yeah. No, but it's a record I thought like I'll get it when I find it because I think what just happened to you will happen to me, and it will. But so I was correct. It can happen.
Yeah. Stephen, we got to meet up. We're at Croydon.
Yeah, he's
that record shop that I bought 1,600 records for 800 quid was the one in Croydon. What was it called?
He's from Croydon.
Sorry? Yeah, he's from Croydon.
Have you met him?
No. Well, if I have, I do apologise. But we've not sort of hung out since hanging out on this channel. But at some stage, at some record fair in the future, come and say hello if you do. And if you have, I do apologise. But sometimes, not putting two and two together. But I agree, Stephen. Yeah, spiritual jazz is incredible. But was spiritual jazz to me is not free jazz? It's not free jazz. No, I don't know. I'm sure I'm on shaky ground. Yeah,
it's adjacent. A lot of free jazz is spiritual jazz.
Yeah, beanies. That's it. Beanies. They got a collection in. And it was just ridiculous. I went in there, saw a number of 45s, soul 45s in the 3 or 4 boxes they had out, 50 pence each. This was mid 80s, and I thought these are like, some of these records are rare. This is great. So I pulled a bunch out, went to the counter, and said, "These are good." Wait. He went, "Yeah, we just had a collection in. We got loads of boxes out the back." And I said, "Can I have a look?" He went, "Yeah." So he started bringing them out box by box. And I didn't know that much about soul at the time. So I picked out what I knew. I should have just bought the lot. That would have been even better. But as it was, I ended up with 1,600 for 800 quid.
I have my answer, but let's have Steve answer that question.
Yeah.
A fucking lot.
Yeah, loads.
The private pressing. I was surprised. I was shocked. I'm happy that I'm not that much into Sonra because I like some, but like, it was a shocking amount of these, handmade sleeves and labels, and some at very decent price, I must say.
Yeah. So one of the problems with what you're doing is all of a sudden, you're driving the prices of this stuff.
It can happen
through the roof, right? So you're sitting at home, you know what's going on. You're listening to something, you think, "Oh, I love that," and there's the copies are evaporating as you look at it on Discogs. So Stunty played this particular record.
No, I've been championing that record forever. Yeah,
he played 2 of it at the same time, right? He started mixing 2 of the same records as if he had a delay. He had a delay of it, right? So he played this. I thought, "Oh, this is brilliant. I love this." Went on Discogs. There wasn't one, or there may have been one, but from America. I wasn't going to pay the postage because it's mad and it's a rip-off. But I don't think there was even one, and I'm not too sure now if there is. But it's obviously gone up in value because of the confusion.
Yeah,
the confusion merging.
Tony Scott, Italo-American clarinetist, been around since the 50s.
Great. It sounded lovely when I heard it, so I'm looking forward to putting this on the
deck. For me, this sounds like Terry Riley doing spiritual jazz.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's very approachable, and it's also a little bit challenging, but in all the best possible ways. And are we always searching for early first pressings? Most of the records we're interested in only have one pressing, so that settles it. But other than that, we have to be, not always, but most of the time, we're stupid like that.
Yeah. There's another one of those. Well, hold on. Let's. What the hell is this?
Okay.
I love it. I haven't got a clue. I trust, total trust, and never puts anybody wrong. Not knowingly, anyway.
So French jazz record.
Yeah. What on earth is that?
It's a French jazz record.
Oh. Is it free jazz?
It is free jazz, but it's also kind of outsider music at the same time. A little bit. Juke Minor is the key name here.
I mean, the scribbling on the back does it for me.
Yeah. Just open it.
And I do it like this, don't I?
Exactly.
Bosch.
No, the other way. This way.
What? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's what was going through their brains when they were playing. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And, I mean, it was a fairly rare record, not super expensive, but I know that there's dead stock copies that have been found in the past, 10 years or so. But it's a cool record. Finding it in the wild, always good.
Yeah. So I can only sort of really speak for people that live in the UK. I found out something today about what I can't tell you. French people, what they think about people from the UK. Can't go any further.
Well, we'll meet a lot of them tomorrow.
It's very funny. So if you go to a record fair in the UK, God, it's such a narrow band of stuff. Anybody that's been, you just very rarely do you sort of see things that are unusual. Den Bosch, there's so many record stalls that have got records you've never seen before in your life. It's an absolute sort of like, if you're into it, even walking around just looking is amazing. Going, I don't even know what these are. And there's so many. I know you obviously do, but for me.
Any trends that we noticed? And did we see? Were there a lot of prog buyers? Trends. Less prog buyers was a trend, maybe. Like there were lots of prog buyers, but maybe a little less. Maybe I think one trend I would say, it felt all more that everything was more even in terms of genre represented.
I don't have a clue because I was in the zone of what I was.
No, but I saw
there's plenty of rows of prog.
No, but also,
I don't know about who was buying it.
The sellers who have a little bit of everything, they kind of had a lot of everything, or a decent amount of everything. It wasn't just like, a lot had, like this record store that, like maybe 3 years ago, if they had an indie section, it would be the all same tired records. Now it was a little more fresher and
we all know the prog sort of you start to get used to seeing them, but you don't necessarily see that so often, do you?
And show the back cover.
What on earth? I think you've played this on your channel, haven't you? Yeah, but
it's an amazing concept of a record.
Amazing. I don't know. I've got a clue. It's my hunch that is prog going to sort of, it's over the hill. Was that rubbish?
No, but it's.
I don't know. I do apologize, Francis. Sorry. Oh, we talked about this anyway.
You're sort of prog head, anyways.
No, I was never really totally prog. I was Canterbury. I was Canterbury, Gentle Giant, and Magma, and I didn't care for a lot of prog. I thought, for me personally, I thought it was too up its own arse as well. It's a long form, not the right type of long form thing for me. But Gentle Giant, different story. I don't know.
That's kind of like saying you don't like McDonald's, but you like burgers.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Honestly, don't take me notice. But I didn't particularly go for a lot of prog. I found it a bit too, with the mandatory drum solo halfway through, didn't do it for me. But Magma, I think they have had some drum solos, so I am talking out my arse. I do apologise to any prog fans out there, but I think it's maybe because I lived through that era. I want something different. And then there's probably the clue.
Sean was asking if there was any early Detroit techno 80s. There was some, and I'm not digging that much this because I already have almost everything I want there. And the stuff I don't have, I don't expect to find it. I might be wrong. I know it's getting better and better in that regard. But what is it? Oh yeah, cool. Hans Reichel was building his own version of the guitar and doing like the most amazing blues music that sounds like blues and also North Susan at the same time, maybe.
Wow. I thought you were going to say sound like prog.
On the Peter Bertzman's label, FMP. Free music production.
I didn't see one Muslim Ghouls record.
I did see.
Oh, did you?
On the most recent on Contact, because they have a booth there.
I'm talking. An old one?
No, I actually saw one. Coup d'Etat. I saw.
I didn't see any Octavian Nemescu old records. I didn't see any Warsaw records.
Okay, let's put it that way. We had 11. That's more interesting in a way. We were there for 11 hours.
Yeah. Didn't see any domestic.
Wait, 550 plus booths. What percentage of them did we do, you think? Like you got a smile now that is like very mixed signals.
When you mean do, like
like go through
Hoover.
Yeah.
550 booths. Well, you're like a machine. I'm not.
Come on, we didn't do 10%.
We didn't. We 50. We did 50.
No, not even that.
Not even that. No, maybe not. No.
We sped through a few.
We skimmed through a few,
but
going through them properly, you can't do it.
And we literally took. I took less than 30 minutes break for 11 hours, and we barely put a dent. Of course, we went to some of the booths we targeted some, but most of them are worth checking anyways, just in case, and you will find stuff that way.
Yeah.
So it's just again a reminder of the scope of the thing. Like, be prepared to be frustrated. So don't be frustrated. Just be happy. Like, come on, you got 97 fucking records.
I know.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah. But he knows his stuff. That helps. Bosch. It's on the Bosch.
What an amazing cover.
Wow. Yeah.
Don Cherry classic Swedish record with a composition by Terry Riley specifically done for this record. So very cool. Marek Vernon is still working his way through the Current 93 catalog.
Francis, I've been to them.
There were quite a few Current 93 records and quite cheap ones.
There was one particular guy I bumped into. He had basically had a box of Current 93. From one collection. It was astonishing. That was it. Yeah.
A lot of his records that are old, kind of rare, like 40, 50 bucks, and you can always get the price down. So
Francis, I've been to Den Bosch twice. The first time I went in November, I was blown away by it. And even though you could argue that you go again and you're not blown away, it becomes a little bit more normal. Honestly, this year it seems even better. So we bumped into a French guy at the cafe when we were sitting down, who came and asked us a question in French. So I don't know what the question was at all, but Stunty knows what it was, and he said to Stunty that he thought that the April Den Bosch was better stocked than the November one, which apparently was against the sort of trend of people's opinions.
He had an interesting thought process about it. I offered my perspective, and he thought it was interesting as well. So we were kind of like, oh, good. But look at ST saying, what a nice record. His avatar is a Moki Sherry.
If you go to, you can very easily go to Den Bosch and upgrade.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is another thing. If you've decided that you love a reissue, but all of a sudden you love it enough that you decide to go the full whack and get something there's plenty of this available. If you have to pay for it, obviously, but. Yeah,
that's the danger. You have this record.
You have to pay for it. Yeah. So.
There was one upgrade I made today of a very decent reissue, and I got the original. You also got one record from that band artist, and I think this was the most pricey record you got today.
Oh, is it in there?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay, 1 second. I've got to put this away. You pick it out.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, show it.
I have this record. If I didn't have it, I would have been like, ooh. I'm not sure there's a reissue of this one actually. So, for you, all you original film soundtrack heads, this is not for you, but it is. Il gruppo di improvvisazione nuova consonanza. The band of a certain Ennio Morricone. Look at this cover art. It kind of tells you what kind of music it is not. It's not a romantic drama, right? what kind of because it's not a soundtrack. It's on the Italian Cinevox record label, which is counterintuitive because it's Cinevox literally is about but yeah, this is some of the most experimental avant-garde improv music, which was one of the biggest love of Ennio Morricone in music. That was modern classical music, pure composition, as he used to say. And this was never a cheap record, but it's not getting any cheaper. But it's like, it doesn't feel good to, like, they can't have done more than 500 copies of that.
Yeah.
Imagine an Ennio Morricone record that is original composition, that is some of the dearest creation he did, is miserably rare. So, and I got another of these. Oh well, I won't say too much, but more graphic, whatever that is. Lovely.
Wounded Nurse.
Yeah, reinventing anatomy is it kind of like a take on the Da Vinci? Yeah.
So many. I mean,
and these were quite cheap.
Yeah.
These were like $40 or something. This one, I think, 50 maybe. This one was a bit more expensive,
quite cheap.
I mean, come on, a record that is like.
Listen, I'm delighted to sell to buy that for a soul record that I sold at a record fair.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I don't like soul because I love it, but there's a load of great soul records. But soul is soul. But
yeah, people are loving your Soviso record by Cluster.
Look at that.
Yeah, amazing graphic design.
Yeah. You can understand why
Target. You bought a record on Target, actually.
You can understand why people collect Nurse We Wound to the nth degree.
Hadri was asking
the artwork, apart from anything else.
Yeah, obviously. Hadri was asking if we know the label Target Records from the UK. No, it's earlier than the 90s, I think. You got that. I may be confused though, but you got that Pendit Pran Nat Raga.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's on Target. I might be wrong.
I got one since watching the channel.
I don't know anymore, Rich. I would still recommend November, but we're doing great in this April.
The weather's nicer.
Yeah.
The weather's nicer to hang around in.
A little more light.
Yeah. We went to a restaurant tonight.
Thank you, Brian.
It was quite nice. Quite nice outside.
See, Tokyo is saying hi to you.
Hi, how you doing, Brian? Nice to see you. Yeah, it's lovely. It's great. Have you been?
No. He has Tokyo. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
He's good. He's good already.
Okay, so I was hoping since, like I'm sure a few, I don't know how many, Iancu Dumitrescu, I was not aware of this person until. So trying to get as many as possible because I think he's great. And this, I don't know where this sits in the.
It's later
the charts, but
it's on the German label, so it's still great.
I didn't see any others.
You had Fernando Grillo on double bass here.
Yeah.
Like, it's some of the most amazing bass playing ever. Very creative. And how about we do a round of 2 or 3 laws, and then and then we let them bugger off.
Don't stay at work. I'll just see if I can find some. Well.
Steve is a bit shy, so instead of taking the record out of the sleeve, he's trying to.
I was just taking.
He's taking off the price.
Take the price off, and it just.
Which is on the sleeve and not.
Oh, there you go. Well, I won't. Yeah. I mean, obviously.
One of my biggest finds last Den Bosch in November was the first box set of this composer, who actually, incidentally, was part of this group of Ennio Morricone. And
that was nice to get.
Yeah.
I think I've got 3 now.
Let's see if you have something different. Oh yeah, the one that you had, like the quick culture. That's like minimal synth, proto techno, post punk from the 80s by a genius called Tom Zucapil, who came from the Eastern Bloc and became a music producer in Germany. This is not a super expensive record. This is like 50, 60, 80 at max, and I think you got it for a very nice price. But you never see that. I played it on my stream like maybe 2-3 years ago, and some people bought it instantly, I remember.
Yeah. So many great records, and fortunate enough to have built up a soul record collection over the years that I went, okay, I'm going to sell loads of them, keep some of the ones I like, but try and find some happy homes for some of the soul, and use that as ammo over here. That's quite a nice way to do it, to have some type of goal. What's this?
The naysayers. Thank you for coming here and bringing some sense to all this nonsense.
What's this crap?
Yeah.
Well, it is. I'll tell you what, 15 years ago, I'd be saying the same thing.
Yeah, but okay, Kim Gordon's single. But at least we're kind of happy people. So would you rather have miserable Beatles, creep sweats, or whatever it is, or people you can at least make fun of and that will laugh with you? Because what can we do?
Well, I mean, I don't think you can possibly judge any piece of music until you've heard it 5 times. At least.
That was so profound, Steve.
I was trying to be. But I think it's true. Some of the greatest records I've got that I value the most, the first time I heard them, I thought they were shit.
Yeah, there you go.
First time I heard, and I really love it. I'm not saying it's the greatest record I've got, but the first time I heard Art Zoid's Nosferatu, what on earth have I got here? I thought it was garbage. 5 times later, just incredible. It's not for everybody, obviously.
Ender's Revenge asked, you ever seen Lovely Music albums over there? Steve bought for $10, 10 euros, a Peter Gordon album in excellent shape on Lovely Records, the amazing American label of avant-garde, avant pop, experimental music, blues. So we did. Oh.
Yes, I got.
And okay, that's interesting. Another thing, here's giving advice. What can you do when you go to Den Bosch? You can prepare.
What you did or what I did?
What you did here.
Oh, okay. So yes, I bought this on Discogs, and no,
kind of. Basically,
I bought this on Discogs and didn't have to pay the postage because the dealer was going to be at Discogs.
The Den Bosch, they published the list of sellers long in advance.
Yeah,
you can research them and see if they are online. Maybe they have their catalog on Discogs, and then you can see if they have something that you want that is on your want list. You drop them a message. Could you bring that record to Den Bosch? Often, like I did that for 8 sellers this time, and they say yes, they bring the records. They don't have to pay Discogs fee, PayPal fee, so the price goes down. You can maybe negotiate a little bit even then, and do that. Absolutely do that. That's one of the best things you can do, but it takes some time. But
do I hate prog? I don't know if I do or not. Do I?
Yeah, that's kind of hippie prog, though.
Oh, is it?
Anyway, on the vertical
this show and tell. It's a very bizarre thing. I'm only doing. I would, under other circumstances, nobody would see what I'm just happy to get it, but it feels like it's the right thing to do. I'm not showing off at all. It's just obviously around the bend. I've bought so many records. I'm crazy. That's not.
But we're not showing off. We're happy. We're happy. We're showing off our happiness rather than our records.
I guarantee you. I don't know where you take your holidays. cancel them and come here. Honestly, it's a different class. It's the best holiday you could possibly have.
Yeah, we had this little bit of discussion of like, imagine you get a girlfriend or a wife or a boyfriend who wants to go to Greece to on the beach to burn in the sun. Yeah, nah. I mean, we're obviously not very objective here, but we're very happy to not be objective about that. Very self-content.
Cancel your holiday and come here.
Yeah. So, one last one.
One more. Well, that's put pressure.
If it's true, it's fine.
Well, there's loads of it. Let's say there's loads. I'm just one I haven't got a clue what it is, and it looks interesting. Oh well, there.
No, don't show that one because maybe I'm going to buy it from you.
What?
It's when I thought like you have more. Oh, actually, the one before. Yeah, this one, the David Berman. It's another lovely record that you bought. Yeah. A second one.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should decide. Just should decide.
Okay. There you go. Oh, that is this. Yeah.
On the lovely Music Limited label. This is a very, very nice record.
I think, I mean, sort of showing all of these, not really having too much of an idea of what you could take a chance and buy some things blind because they just look great, you know, and you're going to make some errors, but on the other end, you could stumble upon some marvelous records.
See, it's funny. Like he was asking, could you find some lovely in Den Bosch? And we're literally digging in your digging, and oh yeah, you got this one. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you, Jonas. Will there be a stream 2 tomorrow? Probably not, but maybe if we're having tons of fun, maybe if we're having tons of booze and we meet some fun people that we want to hang out.
Well, then we should drag somebody else on.
Yeah,
let's drag somebody else on so they can talk instead of ranting on about things as if I think prog's bad. It's obviously not.
Obviously, we're
high. We're just high on it all.
We're high on it. We're not shy in sharing our joy. I hope it's fun to see and to listen to. If it's not, then you're probably gone already.
Yeah. Listen, thank you very much for staying on and having a listen. Like me gate crashing the party. I'd rather actually be in the background, sitting in the chat room.
Yeah, thank you, Steve,
for
being a good sport.
I love sitting in the background, just watching and listening and clicking on Discogs and going, I need this record, and being a punter and being involved has been great fun. And I think we're all on a journey. The people who have joined this channel and have got involved in it, what a great journey! And it's down to you. So honestly, as I say, not absolute. You know, I'm not bigging you up. Well, I am, but big round of applause. Thanks.
Well, if people don't like what I play and they like the channel, that's fine also. But if anyone has some questions, some requests, put them. Hello, Ben. Put them in the comments, and if we got enough cool questions, maybe that will be a trigger for us to do a quick little thing tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't want it. I can't carry them home. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, that's problems for tomorrow, and that's kind of fun. That's a good problem.
It's a good problem. Yeah, is it? I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, come on, we'll find solutions. But leave us comments, like the video, like if you like. It's not the usual stream. There's always, you can support the channel by leaving a tip in the coffee jar. Is there? I know it's different type of stream, and you're probably not getting what you usually get, but it's still supporting at a perfect time the cause.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you, everyone. See you around, and bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.